Okay, so hi, I am not Nam. Nam, fortunately, he has better things to do, as he had his firstborn just born. So I'll be taking over one of his presentations, and I think Ian will take over the other. There's also a breakout session that we, but yeah. Yeah, so this is about the prefetch processing model and trying to unbreak it or break it. So first of all, what is prefetch used for? So prefetch is currently used both to prefetch HTML for documents the user may soon navigate to. And at the same time, also used for low priority resources. Trying to follow this once, but so used for low priority resources that are likely to be used on the current page, but we don't want them to get in the way. So, like, yeah, CSS that is relevant for lower part of the page or something along those lines. Yeah, so yeah. There are a lot of differences in the way that different vendors implement prefetch, and a lot of differences like when trying to test the current behavior. For Chromium, prefetch works well for both same site navigations as well as for sub resources. So it works well for both the document case as well as the sub resource use case. For cross-site documents, there is a special undocumented code path or a hack, as I say more shortly, where as equal document puts the resource in the destination origins partition, in the resources origin partition, rather than in the site that is initiating that, rather than the partition of the site that's initiated. So that's a way to solve the cross-origin same document, not cross-origin navigation, but it may not be ideal. The resource remains in cache for 5 minutes without the need to revalidate, regardless of its caching headers, unless its caching headers are super restrictive, like no store. And it has a custom accept header that is used for, like, it essentially is signaling sign exchange prefetch. In Gecko, there is, a special prioritization for prefetches after, so they're only being prefetched after the load event and being done one at a time to make sure that they're not hogging the bandwidth. There are no specific cache semantics. There is a Moz prefetch header that enables sites to know that this resource is prefetch. For Chromium, there's also a different header that, like, the purpose prefetch header that's being used. And the accept header is just stars, whatever kind of resource. And in WebKit, which is not shipped but behind an off by default flag, it's a simple low priority fetch without any particular semantics. So issues, there are essentially, the 5-minute rule, it's getting in the way of caching semantics and can create correctness problems in some cases. there like major differences between the same site and cross behaviors, and that is not great. There is like a purpose header versus Mozilla's prefetch signaling header versus nothing in WebKit, and that is also not something developers can rely on. And then different accept headers can break caching when the resource is sent back with very accept. And no one has a PR put up to try and define a reasonable path forward that is not compatible with any one implementation is currently shipping, but potentially something we can agree to converge on, which essentially doesn't give any time-based cache semantics or like special treatment. The cross-site logic will just not be supported in Prefetch and will move to navigation, the speculation rules proposal, which Jeremy here is pushing. And we will settle on a single header to signal to servers that prefetch is being done and ignore very accept when the prefetch is consumed in the browser. So that because, and the reason for that, because when we're prefetching, we don't know how the resource will be consumed. It doesn't have an as attribute other than the as document thing. The developers don't currently define what the destination would be. So the accept headers for prefetch will not match the destination's accept headers unless, we're very lucky, but there's for images, for example, they signify formats, but basically, we'll have different accept headers per destination, and ignoring that in the browser's cache will enable us to also support very accept resources without any particular negative side effects. Let's discuss this at the end. But we're actually at the end. So let's talk about this whole thing and see if we can agree on something. And with that, I will stop recording. And